Have you ever found yourself staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m., haunted by the nagging thought, if only I'd known sooner? Yeah, we've all been there. Life isn't exactly gentle when handing out its wisdom. It prefers blunt force, making us learn brutal life truths the hard way. But here's some real talk. What if you didn't have to stumble blindly through those tough lessons? Imagine having the wake-up call right now, without the bruises of regret. The thing is, life's toughest lessons often arrive disguised as failures, heartbreaks, and disappointments. And by the time we actually understand these harsh truths, we're usually neck-deep in consequences. Trust me, the lessons I learned too late weren't pleasant, but they completely transformed my mindset. Today, I'll peel back the curtain and share the most impactful hard life lessons I've uncovered, so you won't need to make the same painful mistakes. Stick around, because the next few minutes might just spark the mindset shift you've been needing. You'll walk away with practical life advice, an injection of motivation, and a heightened sense of self-awareness that'll empower you to make better decisions immediately. If you're serious about personal growth and ready to confront the brutal life lessons that others ignore, you're in exactly the right place. Let's dive into the lessons I wish I knew earlier. Thinking people will always treat you the way you treat them. One of the hardest life lessons is realizing people don't always reciprocate kindness, no matter how pure your intentions are. You could bend over backward, show up every time, be their biggest supporter, and still get ghosted or betrayed. It's a brutal life truth that catches most people off guard because it feels unfair. But life isn't fair. It's just life. And emotional intelligence means understanding that not everyone operates with the same values or mindset as you. A mentor once said, "Expecting others to behave like you is setting yourself up for disappointment." It hit hard. Personal growth sometimes requires stepping back and observing people instead of investing blindly. If you're constantly giving without getting, that's not generosity, it's self-abandonment. A practical tip? Set clear boundaries. For instance, if someone only calls when they need something, stop picking up so quickly. Let them meet your silence with their own intentions. This shift isn't about becoming cold or selfish, it's about being self-aware. It's about protecting your energy and choosing relationships that nourish, not drain, your spirit. The mindset shift here is subtle but powerful. Learn to observe patterns instead of listening to promises. And when you begin to spot the red flags early, you'll stop writing novels in people's lives when all they had was a footnote in yours. Speaking of spotting patterns, being busy doesn't mean being productive. There's this hustle culture myth that glorifies being constantly busy, as if having a packed calendar equals success. But let's be real. Spinning your wheels all day doesn't mean you're actually getting anywhere. One of the toughest things to grasp is that busyness can be a trap, a distraction from facing what really matters. It's one of those life lessons that doesn't click until you look back and wonder where all your time went, with little to show for it. Think about it. Ever spent an entire day replying to emails, checking off tiny tasks, jumping between meetings, only to end the day feeling drained but weirdly unfulfilled? That's the illusion of productivity. It feels like motion, but it's not progress. True self-improvement happens when you shift from doing everything to doing what actually moves the needle. A practical fix? Use the Eisenhower matrix. Sort your tasks into what's urgent versus important, and learn to say no to the noise. People often confuse effort with effectiveness, but emotional intelligence means asking, is this task truly aligned with my goals, or am I just avoiding discomfort by staying busy? Better decisions come from clarity, not chaos. And when you finally break free from this hamster wheel, you start designing your time with intention, not just surviving your day, but shaping your life. And the moment you get intentional with time, something even deeper starts to shift. Not everyone wants to see you win. Here's a harsh truth that stings a little. Some people in your circle secretly hope you fail. And no, it's not always out of malice. Sometimes your growth makes them uncomfortable with their own stagnation. One of the hardest life lessons I learned too late was that support isn't always loud, and jealousy often wears a friendly face. It's a brutal life truth. Not everyone clapping is cheering for you. You might notice subtle digs when you share your wins or a weird silence when you take a step forward. That's not just coincidence, it's a wake-up call. Your personal growth can trigger others' insecurities, especially if they've been stuck while you've been evolving. Real talk? Protect your dreams in the early stages. You don't need to announce every move. As Steve Harvey said, don't tell big dreams to small minds. The key here is self-awareness. Learn to discern between genuine encouragement and disguised envy. It's okay to outgrow people. In fact, it's necessary for self-improvement. As your mindset shifts, your environment has to shift with it. You'll stop seeking validation from people who never really valued your vision anyway. And when you stop wasting energy proving yourself, that's when you unlock something powerful. Your emotions are valid, but they're not always right. Here's a truth that took way too long to land. Just because you feel something deeply doesn't mean it reflects reality. Emotions are real, yes, but they're not reliable decision makers. That feeling of rejection, it might just be a projection. That anger, maybe it's covering up fear. Emotional intelligence isn't about suppressing your feelings. It's about understanding them without letting them hijack your choices. Let's say you get left on read by someone you care about. The immediate wave of emotion might scream, "They don't care about me." But pause. What else could be true? Maybe they're overwhelmed. Maybe they're struggling silently. Developing self-awareness means learning to interrogate your reactions before they define your response. Try this. Next time your emotions flare, journal for 5 minutes before reacting. Give your logical brain a seat at the table. Mastering your emotions is one of the most underrated life tips for self-improvement. Why? Because emotional overreactions lead to regretful decisions, burned bridges, missed opportunities, spirals of overthinking. But when you pause, reflect, and respond with clarity instead of impulse, you gain power over your life. And this kind of power doesn't scream. It speaks quietly through better decisions, which leads right into the next brutal but beautiful truth. Nobody's coming to save you. This might be the biggest wake-up call of all, and yeah, it's a tough pill to swallow. For a long time, many people wait for the right mentor, the perfect timing, the lucky break. But one of the most brutal life truths is this: no one's going to hand you the life you want. That responsibility, it's yours. And the longer you wait for rescue, the deeper you sink into regret. Let's break this down with real talk. You don't need to have it all figured out, but you do need to start. Want to build skills? YouTube is free. Want to improve your mindset? Start with books like Atomic Habits or Can't Hurt Me. Want better decisions? Reflect, journal, seek feedback, make micro changes daily. The path to personal growth begins where excuses end, and it starts with you. That's the life lesson most people dodge. The moment you stop outsourcing your potential, you begin stepping into your real power. Self-improvement isn't glamorous. It's often lonely, messy, and uncomfortable. But here's the truth. You're not stuck. You're just waiting for permission that only you can give yourself. And once you take full ownership, everything starts to shift. Which brings us to the final piece of this journey. So now you've seen it. The raw, unfiltered truth. These are the 4 brutal life lessons I learned way too late. But you've got a head start. The question is, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to just nod along, maybe even feel inspired for a moment, and then go back to scrolling? Or are you going to actually apply this life wisdom and make a shift? Listen, personal growth doesn't happen by accident. It happens when you choose self-awareness over autopilot. When you stop waiting for someone else to fix it and start taking full responsibility. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. Are you willing to be uncomfortable long enough to become unshakable? Because here's the thing, no one's coming to save you, but someone can rise up, and that someone is already in the mirror. If this hit home, don't keep it to yourself. Drop a comment. What lesson hit you hardest? What's one change you're making starting today? Let's turn real talk into real action. And if you're hungry for more wake-up calls, more mindset shifts, and more life advice that actually sticks, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. This journey's just getting started.